And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season finale of Choked Out Radio Season 1. Wow, we made it. We made it. Wow, it's been a long couple of weeks.
This is pretty awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah, so great season. We opened up talking about, what did we open up talking about?
96.
1996.
Then 96, then we jumped 5 years.
5 years back into
2001.
Into 2002. Oh, no, 92, talking about WrestleMania 8.
Yeah. Oh, we went
and
backwards.
Then we jumped
Then we jumped back in the DeLorean, went forward.
Yes. We were traveling in the DeLorean.
Yes, right.
We jumped to 2001, 2002. Now we're in...
Back in 95.
We're going back in time again.
Yes. So now ECW.
Wait, who are we again?
Extreme Championship Wrestling.
This is Jim Wrestle.
Oh, that's right. It's a Jim Wrestle, and
your boy.
I think the shot.
It's your boy.
We had a White Henny shot before,
exactly.
So this is Miguel Sosa
to get the
here.
motors going.
Exactly.
It's your boy Ralphie Vibes in the
Holla.
house.
And Jim Wrestle, man. So I'm very excited with the season finale of Choked Out Radio.
You should follow him.
Yes.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Jim Wrestle.
At Choked Out Radio.
Yes.
And Jim
Miguel
Wrestle.
Sosa on
Yeah,
Instagram.
page is kind of dead right now.
Yeah.
Follow your boy on
undisclosed
Twitter.
reasons.
Twitter, yeah.
Follow your boy on Twitter, Ralphie Vibes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Spelled
sir.
VYBZ.
Exactly. And for all archive episodes, you could always check out via iTunes and Blog Talk Radio as well. So we're going to talk about ECW. It all started, I believe, in 1992, right?
92 or 93,
as Eastern
yeah.
Championship Wrestling, where
Yes.
Shane McMahon won this match of some sort.
Shane McMahon.
I mean, Shane. Wow, that's another shot.
No more White Henny for you.
Let's do another shot right now.
Shane Douglas.
Shane Douglas, he was blasphemous. He threw down
Yeah.
the Eastern Championship belt, which was part of the NWA.
Yeah.
Threw it down.
Threw it down, literally.
To a piece of crap company. And everyone in the back was losing their minds because
He went off script in this.
this was
or
off script.
like,
This was
legit?
this was
This was a straight up
This
shoot?
was a no. This was a straight
shoot.
Shoot.
And he threw the belt down. Too Cold Scorpio was standing across the ring. You couldn't believe it.
Right.
But the promo that he cut was game changing for the time in 1993.
92, I think it was. 92.
This was 92.
92 or 93.
Yeah, this was a game changer for the time. Dennis Carluzzo was part of the NWA.
Mm-hmm.
He got moved out. I forget the guy that was running Eastern Championship Wrestling's name. I can't remember.
Isn't it Gordon?
Yes,
Dave-
Todd Gordon.
Todd Gordon.
Yeah.
And
Dave Gordon.
Dave Gordon.
Damn White Henny
Commissioner
shots.
Gordon from Batman.
Commissioner Gordon.
so he got pushed out. And Paul Heyman recently departed from WCW
That's right.
and fell into ECW, and this rival indie promotion was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ECW. So it started in bingo halls and Elks Lodges and things of that nature.
Good
The
time.
good old days.
I know.
The Elks Lodge and Queens Boulevard.
cry.
I remember us cutting school
Yeah.
and meet at Elks Lodge, Queens Boulevard at 3:00.
Yeah.
And
Stand online for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
we would dip school.
Eat McDonald's.
Eat
across the
McDonald's
street.
with Pablo Marquez.
Yes.
You remember that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then I think one time we were lucky enough to go in and help them set the ring up.
I wasn't there.
Noel
for
and
that.
I
Noel.
did
It
that.
was
We had to
Casey
go
Blade.
inside and help
Casey-
them set the ring up, which was
Casey
pretty
Blade.
cool.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Noel.
Yeah.
ECW was awesome, man, because it was for the fans.
It was different. What made it different than the traditional WWF? WCW?
Different, man. I'm telling you, it's hard to explain because
Unless you lived through it.
unless you live through it, because like obviously
There'll be nothing like it ever
forget watching it on TV.
Right.
Just being there live.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember coming
Ass Man.
home.
Remember Ass Man?
Yeah,
Oh
Ass Man.
yeah, that's
Ass Man.
at the Elks, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I remember coming home and having to shower
Yeah.
after one of those shows.
Yeah.
Right.
You felt
Because
dirty.
It was dirty.
I felt disgusting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I smelled like cigarettes because everyone used to
At the
smoke
time you could
cigarettes in the
smoke,
crowd.
until
Yeah, at the
Bloomberg-
time you could
yeah,
smoke
Bloomberg
cigarettes
put that a rule years later.
indoors.
The Sandman would spit beer at us.
Yeah,
exactly.
you used to smell like beer and
At
You know.
14, 15 years old, coming home smelling like cigarettes
cigarettes
and
and beer. Like it's insane, and seeing breasts,
Breasts.
live
naked.
breasts for the
Live
first time.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember just,
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, like, this is wrong in many levels, but
Right.
during the time, nobody gave a crap.
Yeah.
Whenever there was a large-breasted woman in the crowd,
You would chant.
everyone
Show your
chanted,
tits.
"Show your tits."
Show your tits.
Show your tits.
Yes,
Let's
she
do it
would
right
do it.
now.
Show your tits.
Show your tits.
The guys listening like, what the hell is going on?
Are we even talking about wrestling
And,
anymore?
and the crowd would not stop until it actually happened.
Happened, yeah.
So
Yeah.
being 14, 15 years old
Chanting, "Show your tits."
at these shows where we had no business being at,
Yeah.
because they didn't card.
I would lie to my parents and say that I was just gonna watch wrestling, which was true.
It's true.
They just didn't know what went on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
And then forget all that. Just even standing online to get inside, like wrestlers would actually come out to interact with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Something you see today.
I remember
New Jack would come out with the garbage can and
Yeah.
collect weapons.
collect
I gave him a
weapons.
Sega Genesis. Never forget.
I gave him
gave him a
Nintendo.
Sega Genesis?
I gave him my Nintendo.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and he used it in a match, and I just took a picture of it.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I used to bring like cutting boards. I would steal them from my house.
Your house?
And bring cutting boards.
Oh, wow.
And for some reason, he
Right.
used it. Whatever.
Go to
but-
99-cent store, buy cookie sheets.
Oh yeah, go to 99-cent stores, buy
remember
cookie trays and stuff. Bring chairs.
Right.
People used to bring barbed wire,
Yeah.
Tables.
wiffle ball bats and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Iron,
Iron board.
Yeah, an ironing
A
Maybe
board.
an
staple
iron and
gun.
iron board.
Yeah.
staple gun.
Yeah.
You know, and Tommy Dreamer would come out and thank the fans for being there. It was very interactive. Like you felt like you were a part of the show.
Yeah.
And
They really appreciated the fans because we were spending our money so that they could feed their families.
Of
So
course.
they actually appreciated it because, they would hang out after the shows and we would take our sweet time leaving and
Right.
we would go to McDonald's or the Wendy's.
Right.
And you would see the wrestlers there afterwards eating
They were
food
normal.
there,
Like,
and
they were normal.
they were the coolest guys
Yeah.
because you would just go up to them, and they were down to earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
No
weren't big
egos,
shots,
not
no
like big
egos.
shots.
They were like, "Hey, yeah, you want an autograph? Sure." And they would interact
except
with you.
for RVD. RVD
Yeah.
refused to.
he did?
refused to sign the head.
Yeah, I had the mannequin head from Al Snow, and he refused to sign it. He's like, I hate that thing. So I had to take loose leaf out of my book bag and
Oh,
have
wow.
him sign it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember going to the parking lot and seeing. I don't want to name names. Well, everybody knows, Sabu and RVD
Yes, sir.
smoking weed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And I'm, 14, 15, and I'm like, these guys are smoking weed.
Marijuana.
I'm like, and at the time, no one ever heard Sabu speak.
Right.
And, just like these guys are down to earth, like so cool. You know what I mean? Like, hey, can I get your autograph? Like, yeah, sure. What's your name? Whatever. Sign,
It was a
and
different
that's
time,
it. It
man.
was a different time, but
Yeah.
it was just like you felt like you were a part of the show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then when you were in the show, you felt like your life was in danger.
Yeah, like your life
absolutely.
was in danger.
So
absolutely.
I know you guys remember, and there's footage of it on YouTube. Do you remember when the Dudleys were going hard at that one kid, and the kid jumped down from the balcony? He was
Yeah, I
sitting
remember.
right next to us. The,
Yeah, yeah.
the,
He
crowd,
was ma-
the fans lowered him down from the balcony
'Cause he wanted
in
to
the
legit
Elks
fight him.
Lodge.
Right, legit fight him.
And Bubba said, security let him in the ring. And
Yeah.
they were going to I thought this kid was going to die.
yeah.
And I thought a riot was going to break out. I thought
Yeah.
the balcony was going to fall because everybody was
Everybody was
jumping like
jumping.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was the most awesome moment of my life, but also the scariest.
One of the
because I was
scariest
like, I
moments.
thought we were going to die. I legit
Yeah.
thought we were going to die.
No, yeah, and then I also remember going back to like we're a few guys from Queens, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
going to the Elks. That's the what is it, the House of Extreme or whatever
Yeah.
they called it or whatever. That kid with the mom.
Right.
Remember, like Paul Heyman kicked the mom out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I
Because the
remember
kid
that.
was being rude or
Yeah.
or he was just
Yeah.
being like annoying and
Yeah.
stuff, and fans used to like curse him out and everything, and Paul Heyman just came out and
Yeah.
shitted on them,
Yeah.
kicked them out of the arena.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, like that was insane.
that was
man.
crazy.
Like I've never seen that. Like you would
Yeah.
never expect Vince or
Right.
or
Bischoff.
Because
to
they
do
actually
some
acknowledged
stuff
the
like
crowd in ECW.
Right.
Again, you felt like you were
Part of the
yeah,
show,
part of the
right?
show.
Like if we started a chant, they would stop. They would look at the crowd. They would point at us.
Right.
We almost got killed with a piece of a chair.
Oh yeah,
You
when
remember
it broke,
that?
when it broke and flew over our
When
heads.
Bubba Ray hit someone so hard, Chris Candido, at the top of the chair, the round part of the folding chair, went flying and like skinned the side of our faces, and we were just like, yo, you almost died. Holy shit! Holy shit! It was so awesome.
Yeah.
Being within inches of Ass Man, flashing his ass.
I was a fan, an overweight fan. I used to moon the wrestlers all the time.
It was great.
But as you can see, how excited we are talking about being there live. So that is why, and that's just us speaking about it, and they're here in New York. But just imagine the guys out in Philly and other northeastern cities that they worked at, and or even Florida or whatever. Imagine that experience that they felt and the excitement. And look at us just talking about it now. So that is why ECW. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that is why ECW was so popular. You know what I mean? During that time.
Even recently, we went to a local promotion, House of Glory. Shout out to House of Glory, Mason Red, Brian XL. The Dudleys.
They came out.
The Dudleys, Tommy Dreamer, and Mikey Whipwreck showed up. It was a memorial show for Matt Travis. R.I.P. Matt Travis.
Rest in peace, man.
You know, and they showed up. I don't even think they got paid. I think they just showed up. I know Dreamer put out a tweet because of what happened with Matt Travis, tragically. They just showed up. And Sosa went to the bar. Dreamer walked by, bumped into me. And he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Oh my God, Tommy Dreamer." I was like, "I remember seeing you at the Elks." He shook my hand. He was like, "Thank you for everything," and he kept it moving.
Yeah,
Tommy
he's
Dreamer,
a
cool dude.
It's one of the coolest down to earth guys in the wrestling
man.
business.
Very humble.
He didn't have to be at that show, but he went anyway.
And he's someone that I strongly feel should be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
Definitely.
Just for his contributions to the professional, just to the industry, because he has no ego.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, he just goes out there, like he's very thankful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To the fans and stuff like that. But and he always looks out for the workers. You know what I mean?
He actually donated whatever they were going to pay him that night. He donated it to Matt Travis' family.
That's dope,
which is pretty cool.
That's dope. But again, look at the excitement that we felt. Look at the excitement that we felt just speaking about
and look,
going to the shows
20
live.
plus years later, anywhere you go in New York or anywhere, and something crazy happens, that ECW chant still comes out.
ECW,
yeah. So they're organic. They're a very different organization. They're like the anti WWF WCW in '95 and in '96, and then they make it big in '97. What are your thoughts on Barely Legal in '97? What are your thoughts going into that? I remember watching it live.
Barely Legal. I remember being hyped up to see Taz versus Sabu.
Yeah, they hyped it up for a while.
Yeah, because it was just like, I remember the lead up to it. They had these small arenas where they can just shut off the lights.
Yeah, exactly.
And
which is literally just a flicker.
Yeah, just like turn the switch and that's it.
Right.
And like they'll turn off the lights and Sabu's there.
Right.
Or they'll turn off the lights, Sandman's there, whatever. But just like that pay-per-view alone is one of the best wrestling pay-per-views, in my opinion, of all time.
Because it made you believe that Taz and Sabu hated each other.
Yeah.
Taz went from being the Tasmaniac, no shoes, long hair, to this human suplex machine. And Sabu was always this crazy high flyer, barbed wire, balls to the wall. It didn't matter.
But even like, not even, excluding that match, the whole thing with Terry Funk.
Yeah. Yeah, being able to win that triple threat match at that age. And he was old then.
Yeah.
Terry Funk is instrumental in the fact that ECW was successful.
Yeah.
Because he put his ego aside. Terry Funk is a legend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he went to ECW.
Yeah, before that.
Even before that.
Bled to death to get the company over to become
world champ.
The world champion. And it's crazy because if you watch the DVD, they lost power to that building right after he won the championship.
Wow.
So people almost didn't see this happen. And that could have been...
Oh, yeah, of course.
That could have been financially the end of ECW right there. Had that happened, people would have demanded a refund.
Of course, yeah.
But it happened right after that. They lost power to the ECW arena. Raven and Terry Funk, probably one of the best matches on that card.
Wasn't it like a triple threat ladder match or something with
yeah.
Stevie Richards?
The winner was the number one contender.
Wait, so who was in the triple?
So
it was
Terry
Stevie
Funk,
Richards,
Sandman, and Stevie Richards.
Oh,
Stevie Richards broke his neck in that match.
Yeah.
wow.
They threw the guardrail and hit him in the back of the neck, and he was injured. It was from top to bottom because every match meant something.
Exactly.
Shane Douglas against a pit bull.
Yeah.
Shook him,
Shook
broken
him from
neck.
neck.
Like,
Yeah.
it made you think like, yo, this shit is real.
Yeah.
Like, this is like legit. This ain't
Right.
cartoon.
Like they're kicking their asses.
Yeah,
they're really
legit
kicking each
hurting
other's
each other.
asses, yo.
I used to religiously order all the ECW pay-per-views just because I wanted them to survive.
Right.
Yeah.
If we weren't watching in a group with that
Illegal
VCR, and I was
scrambled
home,
box.
I would order the pay-per-views, and I would just figure out.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't tell my parents. I would just figure out how to pay the bill.
That's funny. So man, so 97, Terry Funk wins the championship. It was very important pay-per-view because what would have happened? It would have failed. Do you think? What do you think?
It would have been their demise.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the thing is, too, is like they wanted to put themselves in the same platform as WCW and WWE. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to present themselves as one of the top companies. You know what I mean? Like it's not like this is not just a company that wrestles in bingo holes. You know, like that they would refer them to whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, they wanted to legitimize themselves and be like, yo, we can do pay-per-views as well. You know what I mean? And again, like that pay-per-view, I don't even know the buys for that pay-per-view.
I don't remember the buys.
But I mean, if you could look it up, you nerd.
At least someone brought a laptop. That's good.
I know, right? It's a smart move.
I know.
But yeah, no, like I think it would have just kind of been their demise in a way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But because it was so popular, it's
70,000 pay-per-view.
something. I mean, for them, it was good at that time.
And at that time in 1987,
Yeah, it was good for them.
And I
at
think it
the
was like
time.
$14.95, I think, or
Wasn't that much.
$29.95 or something like that for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But still, but the fact that ECW was an indie promotion, and back then indie promotions
never.
it was just like a local show, your
exactly.
local whatever, some washed up guy from
Ex-WWF,
ex-WWF, ex-WCW star,
Yeah.
but ECW was different. They presented the product differently. Paul Heyman with his vision.
I didn't even look at them as an indie promotion.
No, after a while they weren't. They were the number 3 promotion in the company.
Right, in the world.
And the fact that McMahon had the presence of mind to be like, you know what, I'm going to invest in this promotion, because it was a place where he could send guys to learn how to work.
Yeah.
Doug Furness and Phil
Phil
LaFon went down there.
Yeah.
Brackus. Remember Brackus?
Remember Brackus? Supposed to be like the next Lesnar.
They sent Brackus
Like
down
Lesnar, like a Lesnar type.
to
300
Al
pounds
Snow,
of
learned how to
muscle.
Steve Cassidy went down there.
Al Snow, yeah, he went down.
Al
He got
Snow
a
became a
mannequin
huge
head.
star, man.
He got a mannequin head over.
Yeah,
That's right.
Went to the main roster.
right.
That's
You know,
right.
so
I mean, we didn't know that at the time.
Right.
no.
You know, we didn't know that was like
They had
actually
like a working deal. Sort
yeah,
of
they had a
in place.
deal where it was like a, hey, I'll send you these guys over. They, we need to rebuild them, and maybe, let's do it in your company and see how it works.
Too Cold Scorpio went and became Flash Funk.
Clash Funk.
That was a fail.
And
I know.
I don't know if you remember, I think they mentioned on the DVD, ECW used to get paid like $1,000 a week by Tommy Boy Records because of the song. And they were like, oh, we'll promote the song with this wrestler, and they were getting money. So when he went to WWE, McMahon was sending $1,000 a week for the loss of Flash
But
Funk.
weren't they paying?
They never paid rights fees for
They didn't pay rights
They paid
fees
rights
for any of
Enter
their songs?
Sandman by
Nope.
Metallica or any of
Nothing.
that stuff.
Wow.
They just used all that music illegally.
Illegally.
I heard the Sandman was coming out to Mariano Rivera's music.
You heard about
You know that, right?
You mean Mariano Rivera came out to the Sandman's music?
You're right.
That's right.
That's true.
They made it so big that they made a cover CD. I bought
Yes,
the CD.
I bought the CD also. I still have it.
Yeah.
still have it.
Every
yeah.
now and then.
The theme song.
Every now and then I
Yeah.
listen to it when I'm feeling extreme.
So then you had 98 and 99. They exploded too quickly, but one of the main feuds that stood out to me was RVD Jerry Lynn. Probably one of the greatest wrestling matches ever. What are your thoughts on
It was
on the rise of RVD for that matter. Remember, he was TV champ for almost 2 years.
RVD was the Shawn Michaels of ECW.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He put up
freaking
10-star matches, yo, every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why, like, in my opinion, you know, RVD was the workhorse. I mean, let me take that back because they had a lot of good workers there.
Yeah.
But RVD put on, like, the freaking
best
standout matches. He was the standout.
ECW.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm Jerry Lynn, even matches with Bam Bam Bigelow, man. Those were good.
That was good. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And freaking, he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just wish Jerry Lynn wasn't seen like he wasn't, I guess, looked upon as like RVD. You know, like no one really put him up to his level as being like a star, like RVD.
He was JL in WCW.
Yeah, right? Mr. JL or something like that. Right? Yeah, but like it put him up there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like made him look good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know, man. During that time period, I felt like RVD carried that company.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? 5-star matches every single time.
Those series of matches with Jerry Lynn were just like,
it was unbelievable. Those sequences and stuff,
incredible,
insane.
I used to watch the matches over and over, and then we were marks. We had our own wrestling fed.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to try to mimic these same moves.
You failed miserably.
I did. I really did. I'm not gonna lie, but I still tried.
Yeah.
But even now, like, those matches stand the test of time. Like, you want to learn how to work, you want to learn how to get over, and crowd reaction, and
I think 2 matches stand out.
It was just like this was like the pre. They're doing stuff that you never seen before. Now it's like a moonsault is the same thing as a headlock.
I know.
Oh yeah,
a
super kick is the same thing as a punch.
Yeah. Right. So back then, they were doing stuff. The cells. You remember that pile driver RVD took from Tommy Dreamer where he bounced
up.
Yeah, the cells.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, he broke his neck.
Right. Unbelievable.
Right. And back then there was no YouTube, so it's like you had to like.
And even like the flip into the crowd.
Yeah,
from the top rope or from the like. I can't believe that,
done.
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
To learn to be a wrestler, I definitely watch RVD Jerry Lynn, and not to like be pro WWE Savage Steamboat. I think it's perfect.
Unbelievable.
To learn how to.
It's one of the greatest matches of all time.
Yeah, I mean, and not to like change topics, but now RVD is a heel in TNA,
right.
And he talks about like how so many guys mimic him now.
Yeah, it still is.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think RVD and Amazing Red, especially Amazing Red, they don't get the respect they deserve in the industry.
I agree.
Because half the stuff that these guys are doing, you gotta give it up to Amazing Red.
They're total innovators, man.
Yeah, agreed. So, and then you have Al Snow, who came down, right? Eventually gets called up.
Leaf Cassidy
gets called down, and he reinvents himself, and he gets super over. He never won the belt, though, right?
No. He feuded.
He feuded with Shane.
I never forget. I think it was Living Dangerously, right? Isn't it where the same incident where Bam Bam and Taz, like, they break the ring?
Yeah.
In the main event, it was like in a hole. Literally, they never replaced the hole.
There was a hole in the ring the whole time. They had to wrestle. They had to wrestle around it.
So so that was like the weirdest thing, right?
Freaking weird.
Yeah, they didn't have the budget to fix the hole. They should have waited.
Exactly. Why do you think he never won the belt? You think, Alice? No, you think it was more about his character?
I think it was just getting the character over. I think he was just
nothing
there.
About titles.
Nothing about titles. They had to put him in the title picture because of how over he was.
Yeah.
You remember that show we were at the Elks Lodge where they handed out mannequin heads to everyone.
You see the scene
and
head, right? 1,000 people.
They were just like, as soon as the lights go out, go crazy.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yo, that visual to this day, I can't forget it. It's if I think about it, I'm like, I could picture myself there.
Right. Everybody's chanting head.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was insane.
And when he would say, "Give me head,"
coming out to Prodigy.
They were beating up Lance Storm. And then
shout out to Prodigy, to the guy who passed away, the singer, the lead singer.
Damn,
I don't know his name. Sorry,
but I remember that they were beating up Lance Storm, and then Chris Candido was like, "What do you want?" And he was like, "I want head." And the lights went out, and then the song started, and everybody went crazy. It was awesome. It was such a good time.
It was.
I know.
Like a lot of fans. You could watch it on TV, but being there live, you can't. Like you cannot.
No, you could describe or
no.
And then there's the TNN era. What do you think about that? With the whole
I didn't like it.
Steve Carino, like I think they got too big. He's good. He's a good worker.
Steve Carino's great. I mean,
I liked his
what were your
feud with
thoughts at the
Dusty.
time? He was free with Dusty Rhodes. What do you think?
I think it was more like, all right, now, a lot of the main guys from
Have left,
ECW
right?
have left.
Yeah, Taz went to WWE.
Taz went to WWE. Dudley's, I think, were
They were
already
out.
out
on.
at this point.
Shane Douglas was in WCW.
Yeah.
Shane Douglas was at
Mike Awesome
WCW.
was
Mike
WCW.
Awesome, Bam Bam.
Which is a whole controversy with him, right? And with the belt, remember Taz
Yeah.
was a WWF superstar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was the story behind that?
So Mike Awesome won the ECW title, and then
He signed with
he
WCW.
signed with WCW,
Yeah,
and was gonna show up.
with the belt.
Bischoff wanted him to show up with the belt, so Heyman went and got like a restraining order to prevent that, and then they called WWE and asked for a favor. Taz went in. So it was a WWF wrestler and a WCW wrestler wrestling for the ECW title. Like, that was insane.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's cool though.
That was cool.
And Taz came in, won the belt, and then lost it to Tommy Dreamer, which Tommy Dreamer always said he never wanted to be champion. But it was pretty cool for him to win the belt.
Finally win the championship,
Right,
yeah.
But the whole TNN, it was unfortunate that they used ECW just to see how wrestling would do.
It was a watered down version of it too.
They used them to see how they would do
Yeah.
on the network because they were negotiating with WWE, which was, kind of crappy on WWE's part because at least like try to get. I would have, with my connections to USA, I would have been like, yo, take these guys on.
Right.
Doesn't matter what time slot you put them, just give them a chance. And I strongly believe had ECW got picked up by another network, they would have been around for a lot much longer.
Yeah.
Look at TNA. TNA has been thriving
Since 02, right?
like
Somehow.
since 02, and they used to
Yeah,
have
but
to
they're
pay,
jumping from like network to network.
Yeah.
Man.
So
They've
you
been
used
on
to-
like
you
5
used-
different
You
networks.
used to have to pay $10 a week to watch TNA on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Then they signed with Spike. Then they lost the Spike deal. Then they ended up on Pop.
Right.
Destination America.
Destination America. Now they're on Access, and the company that owns Access owns TNA, so they're never going anywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
I strongly believe that would have been ECW
that could have
had
been ECW.
they not been used the way that they were with TNA.
Yeah.
Right.
But then on the other hand, like the show on TNN was just old stuff.
Right.
Like they didn't
It wasn't
water the-
live.
It was
wasn't
pre-recorded
live.
and
It was
stuff,
pre-recorded. They didn't water down the product. They were Paul Heyman was airing what he wanted to air,
Yeah,
and that was their ultimate demise,
yeah.
which sucks because
I mean, that's what made them eventually become bankrupt, and then Vince
Yeah.
ended up buying off.
as a ECW,
ECW.
loyalist, like it's sad that they had a good run, and I missed going to the shows.
Right. Nice 6-7 year run, and they achieved almost everything. Right. I mean, they got on pay-per-view.
They've done
got
things
toys, video game deals.
Yeah, they did things that other companies, ROH, they can't do that.
Right.
ROH is struggling
The
right
music
now.
deals with the whole cover art,
Yeah.
cover
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
TNA achieved a video game and figures, but no more.
Right.
It was like a one-time thing.
Right.
Crazy.
It's crazy, but ECW.
Now, I think I told you, I think Heyman in an interview or something that supposedly they were in negotiations with Disney. What are your thoughts if that would have happened?
ECW. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney.
Yes.
Disney
Is
almost
this-
bought ECW.
Disney.
They were this
Who
close.
owns Star Wars? They were this close.
What the heck?
Yeah, that would have been. Imagine Mickey Mouse on ECW.
On ECW.
Yo, like
Yeah.
Balls Mahoney giving Mickey Mouse a chair
That
shot,
would have
Yeah.
been crazy.
or slamming like Donald Duck through a flaming table.
or
That would have
Murphy
been
getting caned
dope.
by the Sandman. That would have been.
that would have
dope.
been amazing.
Yeah.
Or they would have poured beer down Daisy's chest like they did to Electra.
And then Dreamer gives her a freaking pile driver.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
And then she has her skirt and she has like a thong on.
She had a thong, a Daisy
See her,
Duck thong.
her freaking duck ass. Oh, it's a
So what do you
shot.
think was the straw that broke the camel's back with ECW? Like it was just
The finances, man.
finances,
They,
just
it,
giving
it
out
was
the
just
money.
They couldn't keep
Heyman,
up.
remember, Heyman is a wrestling guy. Now he's a business guy now with what he does
Yeah.
behind the scenes. But at the time, he was not a
So
business guy.
it was
right?
one guy trying to do everything.
Right.
So it was like running the towns, running the finances,
running the
running
booking,
the
running
booking.
sponsorships, all that.
it was a matter of trust at the time. You know, Paul Heyman didn't really trust anybody. There was like, 5 guys that he trusted, which was Dreamer, Bubba, Devon, Taz. I think that was it. 4 guys.
Sabu.
And, you know, Bubba used to book the arenas.
Right. Yeah.
And Taz used to do the T-shirt designs. And Tommy Dreamer would be the one mailing the stuff out.
Right.
But he didn't really trust anybody with the finances.
He didn't really have those guys like that anymore because now it became more mainstream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more commercial now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I guess it was just hard, especially with the talent that they had.
Yeah.
It was hard to keep up with all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because maybe if he had those resources back in '96, you know what I mean? Maybe it would have been even bigger than what it was.
Right.
Well,
you know
the
what I'm
fact
saying?
that you could work at ECW without a contract.
Right.
So if I'm there and I'm your world champion, and then I got Eric Bischoff coming to me and
With
saying,
some guaranteed
"Hey,
money.
here's a $450,000 a year guarantee," I'm out.
Right.
As loyal as I am, I'm out
Right,
because I got a family to take care of, and that was the problem. There was no guaranteed money from ECW, and yes, they were doing pay-per-views. Yes, they had video games, and yes, they had toys,
Music
but
deals.
music deals. But you don't see that money until 2, 3, 4 quarters later.
Yeah.
So it's like you're struggling every day trying to make it through, waiting for this money to come in,
Right.
and you know.
And
You
was
got
he
a family to
savvy
take
enough to
care
do like a credit line, home line of credit? No, he probably was not at that
Well,
time. Right?
he his
Parents, I think he mortgaged his parents' house.
yeah, he mortgaged his parents' house to keep the lights on. But
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
But
So,
yeah, I mean, but then eventually WWE bought it out.
Yep.
Was it 2001?
01. Literally a couple of weeks after the
WCW?
closed.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
They got it in bankruptcy court for like $200,000, I
cost.
think.
Wow.
Yeah. The most expensive thing was probably the tapes, the video content.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. So then we have a couple of minutes left. So then the DVD comes out, The Rise and Fall of ECW, one of the highest selling
2004, I think.
Yeah, one of the highest rated DVDs sold ever, right? And then the idea started coming around with One Night Stand 05. Do you remember a little bit about 05? Like, tell me a little bit about
Oh,
that.
well, I went to the show. I don't know if you guys went.
I didn't go to the
but
night.
I
We
went
watched it at your house.
at the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yeah.
And
went with Taz.
yeah, I went with Taz with 2 Z's or 3 Z's.
Tasmania.
Yeah, I was
What are your thoughts on that? So it was on the shelf for 4 years. What are your thoughts on
well, the DVD, I bought it, you know what I mean? And I remember just getting that feeling of like, wow, I wish this thing came back. You know what I'm saying? And it got such rave reviews.
Yeah.
And it became the second highest selling DVD
After WrestleMania.
Yeah.
after
So it's like WrestleMania and then ECW.
Yeah, like
Rise and Fall.
WWE, like any DVDs that WWE has ever sold, this is like the second highest of all time, and I mean during that time period, and I guess Vince was like, man, look at the reaction, you know, it's getting. Maybe I can make more money off of this. And I remember they had a special on TV, and then eventually, like, they had the One Night Stand pay-per-view at 05, which was great. It got rave reviews. It got, you know, they brought back One Night Stand 2, 06,
and then after that, they decided to launch the brand after that.
Yeah, which was, I think,
Sci-Fi.
was in 07 or 08?
06, same year.
06, same year. You know what I mean? And it was unfortunate because at that point, they kind of took the reins away from Heyman and, you know, Dreamer. Dreamer booked that whole show in 05.
Yeah.
He booked that whole show, and look how great it was.
Right.
And, you know, 06, you had RVD defeat Cena and became
The WWF champ.
WWF champ. Yeah, and he was
ECW.
ECW champ. And, you know, unfortunately, he lost both titles due to, you know,
recreational drugs.
yeah, drugs
Now it's
that
legal.
now it's
Which now it's
legal.
legal.
Because
You know
a
what I mean?
face and a heel were pulled over in a car. That's why.
No, it's not. It's not the same thing as
They
Duggan
broke.
and
They broke kayfabe.
whatever. But yeah, no, like you know, and it's unfortunate because again, WWE had this like monster in their hands, and again, they dropped the ball. You know what I mean?
So, if I remember correctly, I think Shane McMahon was really instrumental in them bringing back ECW.
Was.
His idea was to, and he was before his time, was to make it an internet-based wrestling show.
kind of what you see
So
now,
kinda-
like streaming, like a pre-streaming.
Kind of leaving it the way that it used to be, like in bingo halls,
Right.
but streaming it on the WWE.com website.
Right.
And McMahon was not having it. So
Which now would have been like revolutionary. Right?
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what most
absolutely,
people do.
because
Fight TV is basically what it is.
look
right?
at
That's what they do now.
Look at NXT UK.
Right.
Look at Evolve.
Right.
Look at
NWA.
WA.
GCW.
Yeah.
It's
Ring
all
of Honor shows.
yeah.
Because but back then they didn't have all the streaming services.
No,
they do now.
absolutely not. But
know
they
what
were
I'm saying?
they were against they were ahead of their time.
Mm-hmm.
So, bringing it back, people were excited. But when that damn zombie walked out in the first episode,
Killed it.
I changed the channel.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm
Killed
not
it.
watching this.
Killed it. That was the first image you had. Of
And
the
then
new
when Vince
ECW.
McMahon won the ECW title,
Yeah, like,
With
come
the
and he had
do-rag
a
on.
do-rag,
Come
that's
on.
it.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
know.
watch this
No.
anymore.
Because also you got to remember, like the main ECW guys,
there.
they weren't there.
Right.
So they wanted to push these new characters. I mean, the only one that actually
CM Punk.
benefited was CM Punk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you had Kevin Thorne.
Yeah.
You had Monty Brown.
For like a couple
Elijah Burke.
Elijah Burke, right.
You know what I mean? And I mean, they had their WrestleMania moment.
Right. When they had
You know
that
what I mean?
4-4
Which
match, right?
yeah, they had their WrestleMania moment, but
Right.
which was nice, and they got the victory. But still, you know what I mean? Like that feeling of ECW was gone already.
And once they taped it
That
before or
excitement.
after SmackDown, like come on, that was like it was and then separate.
Yeah,
separate
and it had like a
entrance.
separate entrance through the side
Right,
coming
so
to
you
the
can see
crowd.
what
So it was like
It took like that excitement
It
that we
watered it down
had
so
in the
much.
beginning of this show that we were talking about.
Yeah.
That excitement was already gone.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
didn't they start doing NXT on
Well,
the ECW timeline?
Vince came out and announced that ECW's dead,
Yeah.
and he was going to introduce a new show called NXT. And
Which was
then
at the time it was a competition.
Yeah, it was a
right?
competition.
It wasn't a brand like it is
yeah,
today.
and I mean it worked out.
Now it works.
Obviously.
Thanks to
Yeah.
Triple H.
You know, it's your favorite brand right here.
That's
right.
right.
there.
NXT.
That's right. They have the best wrestlers in the world.
They do.
Velveteen Dream,
Yeah.
Adam Cole,
Yo,
Baby,
this guy loves NXT, man.
Bobby Fish,
Nah, that
Kyle O'Reilly,
they have a great roster.
Roderick Strong. Come on.
Yeah.
That- NXT is
What
what
ECW should've
ECW should have been.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Had they evolved with the times, because NXT is still kind of violent, but it's
Yeah.
also the best wrestling in the world.
Yeah,
Right.
Think about it.
they could have kept the name,
Yeah.
but just like a better.
They would
Better
because
show,
it had to
better
be a
production.
McMahon creation.
Right.
Yeah,
If it's not his creation,
then he don't care.
he don't
Right.
care.
Yeah,
But think about it. Think about like how it evolved, and now we have NXT, and you have like a War Games match in NXT.
that could have been done
In
with
ECW.
ECW.
Right.
Yeah,
Insane.
Right.
and then on top of that, ECW became a brand where a lot of the rejects. Not I don't want to say rejects, but a lot of guys that they had nothing for on
Yeah.
Raw and
Yeah.
SmackDown, they would just send them
Send
down
them
there,
down.
like Hardcore Holly and
Yeah.
I remember they had Hurricane Helms. I think Miz Star debuted, wasn't it? Didn't Miz debut in ECW?
No, he was on SmackDown as like a
Oh yeah,
Like a-
but
It
he
was when they
became
had
a
that stupid
work. And
crossover
John
thing,
Morrison.
like the agreement that SmackDown and ECW were together.
Yeah.
That's when that was all beginning of the
Yeah,
end.
and then when Chavo won the title.
Yeah.
When Chavo won the title,
John Morrison won the title.
and then he got defeated in 1 second by Kane
Right, Kane,
Yeah,
that's right.
It was
at
terrible.
WrestleMania.
That was terrible.
That was the only like title
The
match
entrance was
ECW
longer.
ever had.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, a guy like Orange Cassidy would love to see him get caned by the Sandman.
He would have been that character that
Oh, yeah.
came out and
Oh,
got
yeah.
caned by
Yeah.
Sandman.
Can you
yeah.
imagine him kicking Sandman with those stupid kicks, and then he just gets
We got like
caned?
5 minutes.
Oh wow.
I
yeah.
know.
5
So
minutes,
with
not
that
bad.
being said, do you think they should have just had the One Night Stand 05 of one off?
I think
two off?
it should have just been a one-off.
One off and that's
Yeah.
it. Or you think?
Well,
they
no,
should've tried the
actually-
brand, or tried with the third brand, or like the way
They
did,
should have
yeah.
just done like a yearly pay-per-view,
right.
like a
I agree.
reunion show, and that's it. Like,
That's what I say.
bringing it back was a big mistake because they in a sense almost destroyed the
Kind of
legacy.
tainted the legacy. A little
Yeah.
Yeah,
bit,
because
right?
06 was good.
Yeah, that's
When I
when
said-
RVD won the title.
Yeah, RVD won the title. Angle was there
Yeah.
against Orton.
Right.
They had that whole Heyman promo
Yeah.
on the WWE guys.
Yeah.
I think
Remember?
if they would have just done like a yearly reunion show, and it could have just been like
On a Raw or
three
something,
or
or
4
something,
years, like That's it.
No, and like you said, like every year, like I guess like maybe sometime in the summer or whenever, you know what I mean? Go to the Hammerstein Ballroom. You have one night stand,
especially in
whatever.
the spring, where like
and
after
that's
WrestleMania between SummerSlam is like dead for the most part. You could do
and
that
like
night.
and like work something out so that you can bring in the guys that people want to see, like the Sandman and not Sandman, but like Shane Douglas,
right?
And like Francine, and like all these other people.
Or you can even have,
because they had like, that House of Hardcore, or what was it? The Hardcore reunion.
Yeah, they had that
the same weekend as ECW One Night Stand.
Yeah, because a lot of workers didn't want to work for WWE. Right. You know what I mean? Like Shane Douglas, I think, was the one that started that off.
Yeah.
But I feel like even then, like, have that One Night Stand pay-per-view every year. And have like indie darlings, you know what I mean? Like guys who are really popular in the indies.
Yeah.
Like just imagine Homicide being brought up.
Right.
To ECW during that time period.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Or
and
like
making like sign
similar
all these
to
like
what
cool
they did,
dudes from the indies, like these
similar to what they did with the Cruiserweight Classic. How they bring all these guys in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But they could have rebranded that whole thing.
Yeah. Right.
Because like instead of having their own guys, like you had Kevin Thorne, you had Monty Brown or whatever, and then just have these guys. You had CM Punk, an indie darling, and look how popular that was.
Yeah.
You could have had Homicide, you could have had
Samoa
Joe back then. You know what I mean? Like all these guys, bring them up. It would have been a success.
I'm getting a signal, guys. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap up season 1 of Choked Out Radio, here filmed at Gotham Podcast Studios.
Nice.
That's right.
Thank you, Sosa.
NYC.
Really appreciate the time to film season 1. And where can they follow you?
You follow me on Twitter at Ralphie Vibes, VYBZ.
And
follow me on social media. I ain't gonna tell you. I forgot my. I haven't been on it for so long, by the way. But season 2, I'll put you on.
Good. And you can follow me at Choked Out Radio on Twitter and Instagram, and just follow me on Jim Russell. So we're signing out, and I can't wait till season 2. It looks like it's been a success already, and we're looking forward to more work we can get.
Shout out Fig Life.
Appreciate it.
Holla.
Peace. Holler.
Yo, that was dope.
That's it. The wrap. That was good. So wow, right on time.
That was so dope.
I know.
With a minute to spare.
I know. Excellent.
Oh, that was good. Very good job.
That was so dope. I'm mad hyped.
What was your favorite one?
I like this one.
This one,
because we were. I think we were more relaxed.
Yeah.
I
think the drink helped.
Yeah. we should have had that.
They were all good episodes. Yeah. But I think this last one was
and it was off the dome.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just
there wasn't. I didn't really.
It was more freestyling. It wasn't like no
structure or whatever.
Yeah. It was just like speaking.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.